hunt free in the air, sharp eyes everywhere. Beware, Skyhunter, beware. Beware.
Our stories so far.
When we got inside the house, Mr. Trim told us that Badger and Miss McBride weren't crooks.
We found the peregrine yesterday. They thought it must be stolen, and we're trying to save it. You see, Miss McBride is a great bird lover.
Wait a minute. Where did the peregrine come from in the first place?
Ask him out there.
You mean the Birdman?
Mr. Trim said that the Birdman must have stolen the peregrine and was now trying to get it back.
He asked us to send a telegram for him to get help.
But the man in the post office looked mystified.
It's all right. It's Welsh.
Welsh indeed. That isn't Welsh.
How do you know?
I'm Welsh myself. If that language is Welsh, then I'm a Dutchman.
This is what Mr. Trim wrote, and this is the same message in Welsh.
Jackie was right. There are stop words in Welsh.
Stop. Pot. I found a clue.
Pots.
Spell pots backwards.
Pots. S-T-O-P. Stop!
We soon decoded the message. Each word was written backwards.
Back at the boat, we finished writing it down.
That's it. That's the whole message.
Added 2 eggs. Now have peregrine falcon. Stop. £2,000. Stop. We'll bring both tonight. Stop. Trim.
We looked at each other. Was Mr. Trim in it too with the other crooks?
Looks bad. Definitely.
They tricked us. We've sent the telegram for them.
So that means we've helped the crooks.
Come on now, clear your stuff off. What's the matter with you? All this whispering?
Nothing, Sharon.
Oh, by the way, I found this in a newspaper. Now, is this picture anything like the bird you saw? Well, is it?
Well, might be.
We didn't see us properly.
No, not really. Well, make up your minds.
Another peregrine falcon has been stolen from its nest in Scotland. Experts from the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds think the thief was a woman. She may be hiding in London. She always dresses in black. Experts call her Cat Mary because she steals so many birds.
That must be Miss McBride. Mr. Trim called her Mary, and she's dressed all in black. It must be her.
Definitely.
That's it. We've got to do something. We must tell the police.
That telegram said tonight. We haven't got much time.
I still can't believe Mr. Trim is mixed up in this.
But it was Trim's telegram.
But we don't know if he wrote the telegram.
They might have forced him to write it.
I suppose that Cat Mary would frighten anyone.
Let's see if Mr. Trim's gone back to the shop.
He said he'd see us there later.
Maybe he was trying to tell us he wanted to talk to us. I think we should talk to him before we go to the police.
I don't like it.
Just give him one more chance.
Look what you've done, clumsy. Now we can't read the address.
Hey! Hey, where are you off to?
We're going to Mr. Trim's shop.
Again?
Yes, we've got to ask him something.
Well, what about helping clear up this mess?
I won't be long, promise.
lost the address. The address for Mr. Trim's telegram.
Well, it didn't seem to matter at the time.
Yes, because of the newspaper article that Sharon showed us. That was the main thing.
I kept that. It's the first one in the cutting book. Look. Falcon thief strikes again. That was Cat Mary. Experts from the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds think the thief was a woman.
Experts? What are those?
Experts? Experts know about things. I'm a word expert because I know about words.
And experts from the RSPB know a lot about birds.
Yes, that's true.
And now you're helping them.
Well, they've done a lot for the peregrine. When we were kids, it was one of the rarest wild birds in Britain. It was in real danger. Have a look.
A long time ago, people used to collect peregrines' eggs. All this egg collecting meant that there were fewer and fewer peregrines every year. There was also danger from some kind of pesticides. The farmer sprayed his crops with pesticide to stop the grubs eating them. The grubs ate the plants and were poisoned by the spray. Then small birds ate the grubs and got poisoned themselves. Each bird eaten by the peregrine left a small amount of poison in the bigger bird. The poison stopped the eggs hatching. One of the peregrine's main enemies is man. Birds are trapped and killed. Eggs and young birds are still being stolen, even though they're protected by law. But with dangerous pesticides banned and greater protection for the birds themselves, the number of peregrines is rising, and more chicks are hatching each year. There are now well over 1,000 pairs of peregrines in Britain.
You know, if it wasn't so serious, Jackie, some of these headlines would be quite funny. Look!
Egg plot smashed. Poached egg mercy flies?
I think it means stolen eggs, not the kind you eat, silly.
I suppose headlines are a bit like telegrams. They've got to be kept short. They've got to grab your attention. And they must make you want to read.
Oh, yes, look at that one. Biking of the birds. Ooh, I didn't look properly, did I? Biking for the birds. Now, what's all this about? Birds don't have bicycles.
Jay flies through the air. Oh, good. Lunch on fridge. What's this? No food? Better check that out. Now, what's the first letter? Oh, lunch in fridge. I don't like a muddle. I must have it clear. What's this rubbish? Jam is good of me. Jam is good of me. That's a load of nonsense. I can do better. Check the first letter. Look again. Jam is good for me. Hey, that's sense. Yep, that's plain. Jam's definitely, positively good for me. I can't stand a muddle. I must have it clear. What's this rubbish? I saw hungry. I saw hungry. That's a load of nonsense. I can do better. Check the first letter. Look again. I was hungry. Hey, that's sense. Yep, that's plain. I certainly was hungry until I had my jam.
Oh, yes, word watchers. Don't forget to check that first letter. It makes sense.
Hey, Wordy, why do birds in a nest always agree?
Because they don't want to fall out. I knew that one.
Oh, this is a good place to rest. Now we've got rid of that other pest.
That's what they think. I'll find the best. Yes, nothing but the best. Ooh, what's this? A nest. Perhaps it would be a good place to rest. I need a place to rest. But before I make up my mind, I must test it. Oh dear, this small nest is definitely not the best. Another nest. Before I make up my mind if it is the best nest, I must test it. Oh, go away, you pest! This is certainly not the best nest. Ooh, oh, another nest. In case there's a pest, I must test it. Ooh, this just must be the best nest.
When words end with S and T, you must send them first to me. They run fast, they never rest. If they're last, they're still the best. They are just about to burst. Oh, they bust. They are the worst.
And who's got the worst memory of anyone I know?
Right. Now, I've looked. And I've looked. Now I'll just hop and take a good look. Has someone stolen my best acorns? Word!
Roundabout, roundabout, roundabout the house. Someone heard a sound about the house.
Someone went to scout around the house, in case there was a crook around the house.
There was at least £1,000 hidden roundabout, but someone heard a crook around and someone found him out.
Oh, it's a letter. It's from one of our visitors. Dear Jackie, Butch and Trevor, I really enjoyed myself at Simmons Yacht Rock. I thought the best bit was actually seeing a wild falcon. Nice letter. And a bird stamp too, look.
Hey, this is from Tom. Sharon's had her baby. It's a little girl. Must drop her a line. Wordy, what are you doing?
I'm dropping you a line.
That's not what I meant, silly.
I know, but it's what you said.
I think it's meant to be a joke.
Yes, and here's another one. What happens to happen when it's happened? It's got ED at the end. Hi, word watchers, it's time we showed you it again.
If you've got a chair to mend and ED is at the end, then it's mended. Yes, it's mended.
Will it happen? Can you see? Did it happen with ED? Yes, it happened. Yes, it happened.
If you look with E and D, then you've looked.
When you cook with E and D, then you've cooked.
When you're coming to the end and ED's there at the end, then it's ended. Yes, it's ended.
But the Skyhunter story hasn't ended. By now, Butch really suspected Mr. Trim, and Trevor thought they should go to the police. But what about Jackie?
He said he'd see us there later.
Maybe he was trying to tell us he wanted to talk to us.
When we arrived at Mr. Trim's shop, the door wasn't locked.
It's unlocked.
We went in and called out for Mr. Trim.
Mr. Trim?
Perhaps he's upstairs.
Mr. Trim?
Oh, I'm going up. Mr. Trim?
We crept up the stairs, feeling nervous. We'd never been upstairs before.
Butch pushed open the door.
The room was like a museum.
It was full of stuffed birds. Some of them were falcons.
There were drawers full of birds' eggs.
I don't understand. He said he belonged to the English lovers of the falcon.
More like the English killers and stuffers of the falcon.
What a collection!
So what do you think of your friend Trim now? Just a friendly old man, is he?
Perhaps he collected these long ago, before peregrines were protected by law. So he may not have broken the law.
There's one way of making sure.
How?
Follow me.
E.g.
Rare specimens.
The chest of drawers.
But...
It won't budge.
Look, Trim screwed them down.
Oh, I know.
I can't break it open.
I won't break it. I can always screw it back.
It's Mr. Trim's code. 10 falcon eggs.
Proof at last. Just what we need.
So Mr. Trim really is a crook.
Yes, indeed. My little sailor friends. Very clever. So now you know.
In the swirling sky, a bird can swoop and fly. There's a hunter in the sky. Watch him swoop, see him spy. There's a hunter in the sky. See him stoop. The hunter in the sky.